Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a very windy Barra Motors. Apologies if the sound quality is awful, but the wind is blowing an absolute hoolie. Today we're going to have a look at one of my auction purchases. I bought this online from G3 Auctions up in Castleford and Leeds, and I think I got an absolute bargain. I think what I'm going to do is I'll tell you the price, I won't tell you the mileage. I'll let you check it out and you can guess the mileage because that's always quite fun to do. We'll have a look around it, take it for a drive, and at the end I will reveal the mileage. So let's check out my cheap Disco 4 commercial. And here it is. What a beauty. Can't believe I got this for my bid. £3,700 was my bid, plus all the fees and things like that on top. It's come out to like £4,100 for a 2012 Land Rover Discovery 4 with MOT, good tyres, all that sort of stuff. Yes, the mileage is a bit higher, but I won't tell you exactly how high. And some of you, when you hear it, you might say it's not even that high. I don't want to give the game away too much, but yeah, I think it's a bloody impressive car for that sort of money. £4,000 for this, which, yes, is admittedly very grubby, but is going to clean up really nice. So let's have a wander around and check out what we've bought. So headlights could do with a good buff and a restoration, but I've seen much worse. They look pretty good. Our plastic trims are actually in good condition. They can tend to be a bit battered and whatever. The wheels are absolutely coated in brake dust, but I think underneath there is a good set of wheels, to be honest. We've got Accelera tyres, which have got absolutely loads of tread on, so no worries there. We are missing a wing mirror cover, but that actually wasn't the case when I got the car, and it's inside. So I have to admit, I have been driving this around. I actually bought this probably a couple of months ago, and I've been planning to do this video, but I've been using it in the meantime. We've been doing other things. When you have a look inside, don't blame me for the mess. I've just tried to keep it as authentic as possible, but I'm actually just getting a bit tired of it being this filthy. So obviously putting that back on will not be a problem at all. We have got a bit of a nasty scratch down the side there, and I can catch it with my nail, so that is never going to be perfect again, but I will see if I can get Charlie, our new valeter, who seems pretty good with a polisher, to do something with that. Normal glass on the front. I assume we've got privacy glass on there, but without giving the game away too much, it is blocked off on the inside as well. Same on the back panel here, and then we've got another wheel that is absolutely caked in brake dust. I don't even know how, that's so like clearly thick on there. I don't know how well that'll come off, but it's certainly going to end up looking a lot better. Again, plastic trims are pretty good, but we do have this nasty scratch here by the fuel cap, as well as the paint is really dull on this quarter. So, especially like that bit there, I think someone's flat sanded back over some bits and pieces. So I'm hoping Charlie can bring that back to life for us. Round the back it all looks pretty good. I think we could do with a new wiper arm, because that's pretty crusty, isn't it? This is the one that you would have seen Mark in a weekly video putting a number plate on, and he didn't clean behind the number plate, and everyone was getting quite upset about that. But you know, it is actually stuck on there quite well. Don't be looking at the registration and cheating, by the way, because you obviously you can do like an MOT check, but that would not be in the spirit of the game we are playing here. There is a little bit of a crack in there, probably reversed into something. You can see we've got the panel on the middle here, so we have got the detachable tow bar thing, and I imagine under that cover will be our electrics, but no tow bar. I've looked inside and we don't have the detachable swan neck tow bar. Bit of a broken reflector there, but you know, given the age and price, not ridiculous at all, is it? Come round the other side and it's much the same. In fact, actually this rear quarter is much better because there isn't any of that weird paint dullness and whatever going on. This wheel probably isn't even as badly kind of brake dusted up as the other one, if that's a real word. What is our tyre on there? We got a Mazzini. Didn't look what the other side was, so let's have a quick look. What have we got? Yeah, another Mazzini. So we've got Mazzinis on the back, Accelera on one front corner, and then we'll have a look at the other side. So those are all just like mud splashes. There is a bit of a chip thing there, but you're not going to fault it for that. This, I thought, might have happened after we got it, but actually the guys tell me that was always there, so there is a bit of a, I don't know how well I can show you, but there is quite a dint in there, and that plastic trim's bent and everything. But I think minimal effort we can try and make that look quite a bit better, to be honest. So another just like filthy alloy wheel, but look, it's going to clean up quite nice, I think. And this one is a Royal Black Royal Explorer. Looks a little bit flat actually as well. So we don't have the best tyres in the world on here, but they do all have good tread, and you know, if we're going to keep it, I think we'll end up changing those tyres probably. But front bumper looks in good condition. Headlights, as I say, could do with a polish up, but it's not really going to be an extensive job. That is by far the worst one. How well you'll be able to pick up that, I don't know. That one not as bad, but it would definitely freshen it up to do that. We've already got the Barrow Motors plates on there, and we had to do that because this came with a private plate on it when we drove it back from G3 that was G4GMG or something. So we've swapped it back over to the other reg. So I think you'll agree with me, it's actually not looking bad at all on the outside, certainly for the price. So let's check out the inside. This is one of two keys that we do have, so it's like this keyless system that you see on Land Rovers and Jaguars and stuff. And all of our central locking does actually work, which is a bonus. And then here we are to potentially the world's filthiest interior. I say that, well, yeah, filthiest interior. You would have probably seen earlier this week an Insignia, and the exterior of that was probably the filthiest car we've ever had, but this one internally is pretty grim. I don't even know what this is. I found this quite early on, and it's I don't know if it's someone's old gobstopper or something, or I don't know if it's like, you know, a bit of shot from like a musket or something. It's just weird. Who knows? I got a feeling this was a farmer's truck because it smells very farmy in here. It could have been the construction workers or something, and I think it's only had one owner. Do you know what? Maybe I'll get the V5 out in a minute and I'll have a look. But yeah, it's just got a very sort of doggy, faggy. Just, I mean, you can tell by just looking at it. It's going to smell, isn't it? And it does. There is just crap absolutely everywhere. The lads are going to have so much fun cleaning this. I wanted to keep this authentically dirty while I was driving it around so that I could do this kind of reveal and then show the results once we've done it. But it hasn't been that enjoyable to drive, I have to say. So I've drawn the line now and we have to get on with this. Let's have a quick look in the back and show you what it looks like in the back of a commercial. So we've got a load of mats and things in here, which is quite nice to see. We've got this wooden floor with a little cover for where the spare wheel thing goes. I've got mats for, I assume that's for the front. Okay, so there's another mat for that bit there, and you know, you've got like this composite fibre board thingy, whatever. And then it's got these legs, which have been chopped off, no doubt, in order to fit something specific in there. And just a lot of just muck, and there's a lot of crap. They're going to have to blow a lot of stuff out of here, including some glass there. Like the little pocket thing there is absolutely stuffed full. The vents on the back of the seat, or armrest I should say, are absolutely battered. There's a couple of little rips in the seat there, look, where they've probably been putting stuff up the middle, but yeah, you've got absolutely huge space in it. I mean, this would make like a pretty good camper type thing. It's a shame they've sort of ripped the headline in there. To be honest, it's the first time I spotted that. And then you've got plates over where the seat belts would normally go if you had seats in the back. Amazing, after all these years and all the miles, we still have the leather care thing attached to the headrest, which actually is quite annoying, and I'm quite keen to get rid of, or at least put on the passenger seat, because it kind of just like, you open the window and it flaps around and slaps you in the ear. It's quite annoying. So in the rear, we've got these boards on. In fact, you can just probably see through that little board there. So I don't know how they come off, but we do have switches. They just don't do anything. My understanding, because, let me see if I can find the plate. This is a special vehicles Land Rover thing. It's gone to the special vehicles workshop, and that is where Land Rover make all of their commercials, police things, specialists, whatever. It's not actually all that exciting, it just means it was a commercial vehicle and that's where it went. But from what I understand, they just disconnect all the cables and everything in the rear doors so that the windows don't open. Let's have a quick look in the boot. You get the standard kind of split boot thing. This one's a bit tricky, it's not, the latch isn't all that great. And there we have it from the back. Again, an absolute load of just smeg. Oh god, there's actually, maybe with this camera I can kind of show you a bit better than I can see. What have we got there? Some de-icer. I thought for a minute I might have been pricked by a hypodermic needle, but it's not, luckily. I think it's just a bit of holly bush. That's a relief. Anyway, this thing is meant to kind of hook under. Okay, so there's, probably not showing you. This thing's meant to hook on there to cover up your spare wheel adjuster thingy, but it looks like it's lost its metal trim thing on this side. So we'd have to do a bit of repairing there to make that stay in properly, because otherwise it just falls through. Still get your little storage bins. I don't know if we've got anything in them on the sides. But yeah, that is your Disco 4 van. For me, what's cool about this is we've still got quite a good spec. So we've got heated seats, we've got the automatic gearbox that you normally have, you've still got all of the same kind of off-road capabilities. We've got Bluetooth, we've got sat-nav, we've got flappy paddles to go with our command shift gearbox. So it's actually like reasonably well spec'd in here, to be honest. Obviously we've got air conditioning, all that sort of stuff, but to have the heated seats especially is quite a bonus, I think. Don't have electrically adjusted seats, which is a bit of a shame. That'd be nice to have, but it's not the end of the world, to be honest. There's normally going to be one or two people driving this, I think, and they're probably quite likely to get into a comfortable position, and Bob's your uncle then, isn't it, really? We don't have a fridge in the armrest, which would have been nice to have, and that is where our switches and everything would have been. I'm sure you could get an aftermarket one, couldn't you? Well, not aftermarket, but, you know, I don't know, a second-hand one or something else and fit it in there. We've still got our USB and whatever connections in there, but it's just absolutely filthy. To be fair, I mean, that's our wing mirror cover, by the way, so we can get that fitted. But yeah, some of these dog paw prints and stuff is my fault. As you know, I do have dogs and they need to go in the car with you. Oh, there's even more crud down in between the seats. This is going to be one of those cars where I think the valeters will want to take the seats out in order to clean it properly, but that'll probably mean we'll get a load of airbag warning lights come on. Let's have a look at our service history without giving away the mileage, if we can. So I know we've got a new V5 now because obviously we've put the new plates on, they had to retain the other number plate, so I know we've got that. I suppose I could tell you the dates of the servicing in here, just not the mileage. Tell you how many stamps we've got. So we've got one in 2013, another one in 2013, both at Land Rover. They've got a weird system. This won't be giving away too much. But they have a weird system with these Range Rover ones or Land Rover ones. They always confuse me because it's like two strips. There's like 2 pages. It's a whole page for one service, but normally you just have like a little box, wouldn't you? But no, these ones are, and they kind of stamp it and date it in 2 places because they do a like mechanical service and a body repairs service thing in case you needed to do some bodywork servicing. Strange. Anyway, so 2 in 2014, 1 in 2015, 1 in 2016, 1 in 2017, 1 in 2018, 19, and that may well be all we have in this book unless they put more in the back. I can't remember. I thought it was quite good, so it hasn't had one recently, so I think we ought to do that, really. How many does that make it? 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Not too bad. But yeah, definitely due a service then, isn't it? Unless I have got some other paperwork somewhere, but I honestly can't remember. Should we have a look under the bonnet and we'll see what the condition of the oil and coolant looks like, and might tell us something. Who knows? Handle was over on the passenger side by the looks of it. We do also have Harman Kardon sound system as well, so for a commercial vehicle, it's very nice indeed, isn't it? It's just reminding me now, actually, popping the bonnet on this. Funny story, because when I bought this from GT, I was going to get it delivered, so it should have been about 250 quid to have it delivered from Leeds, which is not, I think it was reasonable, it's not bad at all. But they said there was an issue, there was a light on the dash, which meant that it was unroadworthy, they couldn't bring it to me, so the price was going to be about 600 or 700 quid. Oh, bloody hell, like, what's wrong with it? And I was trying to look at the dashboard and in the pictures and see what was wrong with it. It turns out, as with a lot of Land Rovers, just the bonnet wouldn't latch shut very easily. You really, really have to slam it. And I mean, that happens quite a lot with Land Rovers. The latches are notoriously rubbish. And then you get your alarm going off in the middle of the night because that's not quite latched right, and it, you know, mucks around with a little plunger that senses whether it's on or whatever. Anyway, long story short, I was like, I'm just going to pick it up, see what's wrong with it, and I just slammed the bonnet shut, light went off we went, drove whatever it is, 250 miles home, no problem at all. Right, it is pretty grubby under here, but you know, dirt's not the end of the world. Oil and soot and stuff like that's what you want to worry about. I mean, looking at the catches, we could probably do with a squirt of grease in there, to be fair. Right, well, there's no signs of anything bad there. Do we have a dipstick on this? Is that? No, that's going to be like a breathery thing, isn't it? I guess it's all electronic. Let's just see if we can sort of see. I mean, it looks gritty, but then I have just grabbed that from the top, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad actually, does it? It's not like thick black, but then it's not really taking the oil directly from their engine, so who knows. Coolant looks really nice and fresh, you know, nice and bright and whatever. But I don't know, does it? It's a weird bottle, isn't it? Cold fill, yeah. Coolant might be a little bit low, but I don't think that's anything to necessarily worry about. Can't imagine the head gasket's gone on this thing, but who knows? But yeah, there's our engine bay. Maybe when we do a service on it, we'll check out. You have to follow me. You'll have to follow me on Instagram, and if you know it comes out and it's filthy, the air filter and all that sort of stuff, I will put it on there for your viewing pleasure. So let's just see what happens when we try and close it. Normally, yeah, it's just. And you can't. Just won't latch. So that was the problem they were having. And you know, to be fair to them, maybe they didn't want to slam my vehicle. But. Oh, even that didn't do it this time. Maybe it's this latch on this side. So we will try. There we are, latched. Simple as that. So let's head out on the road and we'll take it for a spin. Right, just grabbed a quick drink for the road. If you haven't heard me talk about Holy before, they are keeping me on track. We're trying to be a bit healthier at the moment. They are the Clear Conscience energy drink. They also do hydration drinks. And what I've currently got on the go is their iced tea drink. This is apple and iced tea, and it is honestly so nice and refreshing. Unlike my usual carbonated drinks, Holy has 0 artificial flavours, 0 added sugar. They're under 20 calories, less than 80p a drink as well, so it's really not expensive. Biggest advantage for me is, other than carrying around a bottle with me, all I need to do is carry a pack of sachets of drinks that I might want throughout the day, and it's so easy to mix them up. Tear open your sachet, pour it in with some cold water and mix it up. No longer do I need to carry around crates of cans of drink. As long as I've got my sachets with me, I've got as much drink as I could possibly want. But if you do try Holy and you absolutely love a particular flavour, don't worry, you can get it in big tubs too, which will make it even cheaper and easier for you to make at home. If, like me, you need a refreshing drink that you can have daily and is not going to make you feel really guilty, then I highly recommend checking out one of Holy's starter kits, so you can try a complete variety of all their flavours and options. If you do try them out, make sure you use the code METAL5 and you can get £5 off your first order. And then use the code METAL and you can get 10% off every order after that. Thank you so much, Holy, for sponsoring this video and for keeping me hydrated, especially on the road. Right, I am going to make this quite a quick drive because, as I say, I have been driving it the last couple of months and I think I know pretty much most of the things we need to sort on this and how it drives. And this video is probably already knocking on and we still need to clean it yet. But on the whole, it actually drives really well. It does probably want trekking, I think, and it kind of does maybe kind of wobble around over the road a little bit. I think we're going to need to do tracking first at least, and that will give us an idea of how this thing is going to handle, if it needs anything else. Maybe there's something going on with the suspension. I mean, I'm overstating it. It's really not that bad at all, and I think these are quite wallowy. It's just getting kind of used to that. I just find when you're going around corners in this thing, you're sort of fighting to stay in your seat, which is quite annoying, really. I think the gearbox is a little bit lazier than it would have been coming out of the factory. That wasn't so bad. I think it had already dropped a gear there, but changing between gears and getting it to drop down a gear can be a bit slow sometimes. Maybe a gearbox service will help with that. We'll look into that, because we are going to have to do an engine service on this anyway. But yeah, other than that, it actually does drive really well. Brakes are really good. Sounds okay. No signs of any wheel bearings or anything like that. We don't have wind blowing in around the doors. I'm trying to think what else are usual problems with these. The engine's actually pretty smooth. It's not smoking. One thing that is going to need some investigation is the air conditioning. When we picked this up, it was when it was absolutely scorching hot, and because I was driving it around, I did want that air conditioning working. Our technician Adrian, he did re-gas it, and it seemed to work okay, but not great. And I think he said the pressure was okay, so maybe the actual motor itself is the pump is playing up and it needs a new one. I don't know. We're gonna have to look into that a bit more, but it's definitely doesn't work very well at the moment at all. Luckily it's got colder now anyway, so we're not desperately missing it, but I definitely do want it fixed. Surprisingly, for a commercial that's got no seats in the back and it's got, you know, wooden trays and whatever, it's still really quiet in here. There's no real rattling, unlike you get in a panel van. I know they are very different things, but you still thought you might find a lot more road noise coming from the back, the rear arches. If you've ever been a boy racer like I have, and you've taken out the rear seats in your car before, you just get loads of noise coming from the back. You don't have that at all in here. If you didn't turn your head around to look in the back, you wouldn't know that you weren't in a standard Disco 4. Now, I am always tempted when I see something like this that I think is amazing value, which I really do. £4,000 for this car that would have been, I don't know, 50, 60,000 pounds originally, perhaps. Generally speaking, these days, I would try and avoid getting involved in bidding on that sort of cars, because it's not really the sort of stock we want at Vera Motors. So why did I buy it? Well, I did buy it for a specific reason, and I bought this with the intention of making it our shifting metal media bus, so that now that we've got 2 editors as well as myself, and we've got, you know, loads of plans for the future for the channel, doing adventures and things like that, plus the guys need to go out and film B-roll and all that sort of stuff, it would be very handy to have a car that was constantly available, could drive everywhere, could put all of our kit in the back, the drones, the cameras, the tripods, all that sort of stuff, and just always be ready for the guys to use. So when I saw this, I thought that could be perfect for that, and I do have a few plans for it. I have ordered a set of rear seats. I'm going to try and get the rear windows working. I've already got a set of general grabber all-terrain tyres for this, and I may invest in some other, probably non-essential but kind of fun add-ons for this as well, you know, like roof rack and snorkel, and who knows, we might end up going off-roading again. Originally my plan was to have it all racked out in the back with drawers and all the stuff for equipment. I don't think we really need that, but what we probably do need is a rear set of seats so that all 3 of us can go to places. Say we're going to auction, for example, we can take that. But before we consider doing any of that, I need to get this car cleaned up and see what we're working with to start off. So I'm going to get it back to the garage, I will give it to the valeters, they can give it a deep clean, give them a good day or more, and we'll reconvene when this is looking perhaps not showroom condition, but an awful lot better, and then I will let you know exactly how many miles are on this old Land Rover. So I'll see you then. Good start.
Oh, Joseph, you're a dirty, dirty boy.
I've got some bull in my eye. That's how dirty this car is.
If anyone can see that on the camera, but of how grim that foam is looking from that. The soap's not white and it's definitely not brown, but it's somewhere in the middle.
We've given the old Disco 4 a massive clean up. I've even got involved myself with giving it a big polish. I think it looks like a completely different car, so have a look at this. So as I say, I've given it a polish pretty much all over. We didn't really manage to get some of these deeper scratches out. It was a very quick polish, and to be fair, it was a very quick clean, but I think we've got pretty good results from the time we spent on it. I think this scratch could be chased out a bit more. I very roughly chucked some paint in this scratch back here and then polished over the top and didn't really do a very good job of it. But for the time I did spend on it and how bad my skills are, quite good I think. I even ran some heavy cut over the headlights because they were looking really hazy, and that has completely freshened it up a dramatic amount. Bit of tire shine, all that sort of stuff. And it gets better on the inside as well, because that was like a farmyard. It was like you were in some kind of pigsty. It's now a load cleaner in there. We haven't got our rubber mats in because we've got some quite nice Land Rover mats, because we now have some future plans for this car. So in the workshop now already are a set of rear seats. I'm going to try and get these windows working, and as I said, we're going to turn this into our media bus. So we're going to put some nice knobbly tyres on it, maybe a roof rack, maybe a snorkel, a load of frankly very unnecessary, but in my opinion quite cool stuff. So we will do that in a future video. Now the main crux of the video is, now that you've seen it in its ugly form and now in its shiny form, you've got to try and guess the mileage, and I will let you know exactly how much that is now. Currently we are on 165,468 miles, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be in the comments saying that's not high mileage for the age, because what is it, 12 years old? I think it is slightly high mileage. Average mileage is about 10,000 miles a year, wouldn't it? So you'd expect it to be on 120, and we are above that, obviously. And most people would look at a mileage over 100 and say that's high mileage. But I am absolutely smitten with this car for just over £4,000. It now owes me, maybe with a bit of time, let's say £4,200. We still need to do the service. We still need to get the tracking done. But obviously I don't want to do the tracking until we've put the new tyres on. That will be it for this video. But if you have enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, not only because you will get to see the video when this comes out of us doing the kind of modifications to this and just making it look cool for not very many reasons other than I fancy the idea of it. And we're also giving away a £4,000 Tudor watch as well. As soon as we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'll be picking someone at random, and it costs nothing to enter, so get involved. Don't forget, I'm also raffling off my BMW 730D, which you can win for just £1. And in fact, if you buy 20 tickets, you will get 10 for free, and you can get an extra 10% off if you use the code TOBY10. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Holy, for sponsoring this and keeping me hydrated. We will see you in the next video.